We're broadcasting on the right page. Yeah, so thank you for tuning in. I can see guys are coming. Let's see, give them a minute.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for me, and yeah, I hope people enjoy it. We're able to get something after this workshop.
Yes. Just a minute.
Something useful. Even one good thing which you can use after, it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Great. I can see people have joined us. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm here with one of my favorite directors. I met him in Cinematography Film Festival in Italy. His name is Sebastian Krolak. And as you can see, he's a young man. So this page is specifically for young African filmmakers. So thank you for tuning in, because we want to interact with the right kind of people who get us, people who understand what we are going through. And so somebody like Sebastian is on that stage where we are and where we want to go together. And I think somebody that we can work with in the long term. And so we're really, happy to have him here with us today. And before, first, I'm going to ask Sebastian to introduce himself and tell us what he does. And after that, I'm going to play his first trailer for directing. Then I'll ask him the first question. So, Sebastian, welcome to the show. Thank you for creating time to be here. And tell us about yourself, what you do.
Okay, so generally, I'm from Poland. Yeah, I came to UK around 4 years ago. 4 years ago, yeah. And yeah, I think that was one of my best decisions I ever could make, because I grew up much more than I could do ever imagine in Poland for that time. So yeah, definitely that was such a good decision. I'm a director, DOP. I'm also lighting, work as a gaffer, and I will show you and prove today how big connected this three parts is in a good way to directing, to understand well each part of filmmaking, like DOP, gaffer, even production design, how important is in directing way. So yeah, as I said, I'm in UK around 4 years, and because I love travel, so I decided, okay, connect and explore culture. I decided, connect this with directing way, go to other country, tell a lot of amazing story. Like last year when I was in Kenya, which is like, mind of nice topic, culture and everything, which is just pleasure for me to be able to try understand this and show this in a film. But not only there, I was shooting also in Singapore in Asia. I was shooting also in Italy. So, and I have a plan to shoot everywhere around the world. So yeah, I think step by step I will do. I will try to go everywhere. So.
Yeah. Amazing, Sebastian. Just before you continue, I just want to show people your director's showreel, and then we come back. So, guys, I'm playing Sebastian's director's showreel so that you're able to see the kind of work he does, and then we'll come back and I'll ask him some questions. And if you have some questions, you can also ask. So, here we go.
Wait. Stefan! Може да си купим билетите, може да си купим визите. И всъщност наистина да отидем в Америка. И знаеш, че веднъж като стигнем там, всичко е супер лесно. Мога да ти покажа всичките неща. Извиняй. Трябва да тръгвам. Може би трябва да се прибереш у вас. Знаеш какво? Това може би за теб беше някаква грешка. Може би за тебе беше някаква игра, да си играем на актриси, да ходим в Холивуд. Тра-ла-ла.
Io qui Tommaso. Mi fermo.
Piano. Non è successo.
Invece sì. Ma come state dentro qui?
Ciao Lisa! Lisa, guarda. Guarda che bella, guarda.
Tommaso, ok, Tommaso, d'accordo. Io parlo un attimo con lei e siamo di nuovo da te. Va bene. Ehi.
Akimoha na shuka. Akimera maikarethĩ, maikara thĩ, oire kahiũ akĩmatinia cha. Ĩ nyũmba ya mwarĩ witũ,
ĩ nyũmba ya mawe ritũ,
ĩ nyũmba ya mwarĩ witũ, ĩgitĩtwo na thaji cia ng'ombe.
Знам, че го прави
Ĩ
заради
nyũmba
нея.
ya mwarĩ witũ, ĩgitĩtwo na ithanjĩ, ĩna icũthĩ cia ng'ombe. Ĩ nyũmba ya mwarĩ witũ, ĩgitĩtwo na ithanjĩ, ĩna icũthĩ cia ng'ombe.
Парите са си много важна работа, така да. Money makes the world go round, the world go round, the world go round. Money makes the world go round, the fancy sound. Money.
Great. Good job, Sebastian. That was your director's showreel that I just played. And welcome to the show. And as it says, today we are focusing on asking you a big question, because we can see that you have a special style of storytelling, of visual storytelling. And so maybe to begin us off, I want to ask you a question about visual storytelling. To you, when I mention the word visual storytelling, what comes to your mind?
Okay.
And what's the relationship between visual storytelling and directing? Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay, Jenny, that's a good question, but it's actually best question for people, because for the filmmaker, each filmmaker, when you're asking about the style, it's something what is really hard to say, what actually is in personal style, it's as I told you, for each filmmaker, it's really hard, like ask director, what is your actually style? Actually, I don't know, I just feeling, I feel and I do it what became to my mind. So I think in this case it's not right, but I can try to answer as I imagine, how in my opinion this style can look like, because what I doing when I'm making a films, I taking story and try to take and work with the actors to make the story comes real. So that's actually the most important part in it, like we have a story. The story is kind of the map, because always from the beginning, script is just kind of the map for me, and that's something what I always telling to actors, I telling to them, listen, take the script, read the script. Of course, you need to learn everything, but after that, forget it. We're doing our story, You're not Leonardo DiCaprio, you're not Johnny Depp. You are your own, and I wanna see you in this in this way, So definitely, I put a lot of effort for relation between characters. So I really open for technique which I using, you know, because in this showreel, I definitely have a lot of handheld camera, rig camera, and I really I made this decision in that moment because I could focus in this case just on the actors, you know, I could forget about the camera. In this case, when I was working in my DOP, such amazing DOP, I told her, listen, we have a nice part of story and let's become much deeper into it and to work with the actors. So let's try improvise a bit. I will be 100% into this what actors doing. And in this case, you just need to catch this really well. Of course, there's a lot of rules which you need to use during this kind of directing, because I personally love in this case, for example, Lars von Trier, which in his films, especially Dogma films, show how technically parts of film is not important. You know, it actually doesn't matter. When you watch film, that's, you know, that's phenomenon, you know, for me, because I love Hollywood films, all this kind of stuff. And one of my favorite film, it's Lord of the Ring. Really, it's fantasy film, which is very beautiful, well made. But except that, another film, which is also one of my best, is Dancer in the Dark, which was made in Dogma. It's completely a raw film, which is focused on the acting, on the story. And in this case, from directing side, absolutely, I'm putting a lot, the higher effort on this acting part, because I know like all techniques, all camera movement, or the equipment you're using is just kind of, you know, if you have better equipment, if you have a bigger budget, you can start to play with it, because of course I trying to do it as well. And because if like this is a really big topic, I will try to jump between one to another. But definitely, especially for filmmakers, young filmmakers, which making a movie for first time, I suggest take you saw this all Hollywood nice film, yeah? Right now, forget about it. Forget about it and focus on yourself, on the actors to tell story. Let's learn first how to tell the story, how to get your way in providing actors, how to get your way to guide actors during the scene. After that, you will have time, 1 million occasion to make really nice shot with Steadicam, other dolly track. You will have time for it. First, try to jump into the most important part, you know, because at the end, as I told you at the beginning, I was under impressed like, when I watched film, which was completely without this nice technique, and I sitting within half an hour, didn't say anything, and just one thing which I said to myself was, wow, this is cinema.
Wow.
No?
Yes, Sebastian, that good introduction. And I just like before even we move further, I just want to know, what's your directing journey like? How did you end up becoming a director? We are going to come back to more of this that you've just started saying. I hope I'm not taking you back, but I'm asking you, Sebastian, right now. How did you know that Sebastian is going to become a director? How did is the journey like? How did you start? How did you get to where you are today? And I can see that you have more than actually 10 productions in your name, and you have like other productions that you've worked with, and your CV looks really good. So what is it? What's your journey like? How did you begin?
You know, it's actually began really simple, actually, you know. My first step was when I watched, that's everything started in Hollywood. So I can say like that, you know, because I was watching Lord of the Ring. And after this, I started, get my interest, go into it much more, how they made it, I started watch a lot of behind the scene, that was my passion, how I wanted to do exactly same, even after many years, one thing's happened. I will tell you later about it. So if I forget, Rachel, please remind me about it, because it's connected to this what I talking right now.
Yes.
And after that, also I watched when I was watching all BTS to Harry Potter. I was, I was feeling like, because I always wanted to be an actor, but I feeling like, okay, I want to be actor, but you don't have a talent, enough good talent for it. So what else I can do, And I started when I started watch this BTS. I was thinking, actually acting it's not the best, I saw maybe this. Maybe I would like to try behind this camera, stand like as a from this directing side, try to tell this story, So yeah, and that's actually started like this. So I always telling this, it started in Hollywood, but later I made my first short film, and this film was like a shit. Okay, I can say that straight away. That was nothing, And but of course, I didn't give up, and this is the most important, because when you start your directing way, that's normal, that you shouldn't. And that's one of the most important advice I can tell you, right now. It's don't be afraid of mistakes. That's really important, and that's actually what I learn all the time. Each my film that was making actually with my tears. After that, I was crying. I was said I didn't wrong. I supposed to be did this better. I supposed to be that better. And right now, it's also one important thing what I putting effort every time, and I telling to people. In this case, when this happened, remember about it, but don't sit too long in your old project trying to make it better. When you finish film, close this. This is finished. Don't come back to it. You did it in that moment. Without this film, you couldn't be on this level what you are right now. So this film was really important. But forget about it now. Go to another one. And on another one, it's normal. Like you may make a lot of another mistake. So what you're doing? You're just finishing as best as possible and going to another one. Please don't, because I was doing this mistake for a long time. I was trying to make my old project better. And I was standing with, I had one project which wasn't finished till today. Maybe it's going to be in the future, we'll see. But I decided, and that was the best idea, to leave this project for now. Because I was editing this film around a year, and I still wasn't happy, and I knew, like, I still grows up, I get more experience, I never will be happy. George Lucas edit his Star Wars till today because he's still unhappy from this film. So please don't do it. Even Francis Ford Coppola doing same. Please don't go this way, because you will stand in one place. The most important is go further. Don't be afraid to make mistake. That's the most important, in my opinion.
Amazing. And thank you, everybody who's watching. I can see a lot of you are watching. Let me just read some comments. I'll just start up. Sheminto Boy, you say nice show. Jan Brian, you say interesting. Otoma, you say hello. We can see you. Jan Brian, Winfred, you say truly watching a film is indeed phenomenal. Learning to tell the story is the beginning point for aspiring filmmakers. That's very nice. Thank you, Winfred, for that contribution. Then, Brian, you say, as an upcoming filmmaker, one of the issues I have seen is some projects is actors play drama other than being the character. Mr. Sebastian, how do you have your actors play the character? Maybe you can answer that question, Sebastian, as we move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. That's That's a really good question, and that's actually each actor will be different, and I can each person will be different. I can tell you now. It's gonna be split on the kids, on amateur actors and professional actors, and it's a lot of way to get it. You know, if you have really on medium experienced actor, you can just try to sit, and as I told you, don't try put some of the vision of these characters in your head. It's something what in my opinion is kind of mistake which I was doing before, because really I was trying to imagine, okay, I watching for example Leonardo DiCaprio in this film, and I want this emotion, you know, and I was trying to get somehow this emotion. I didn't see it completely, you know. And but in other way, when I was starting shooting and I let to this actor be themselves, I saw something even better, because that was he. And in my opinion, that's really important. Forget about your vision, just try to let him be. What is one nice example from my life? I remember that was but this was experienced actor. I tried to talk to him and ask, you know, Pavel, because he was called Pavel, please, you know, I see this character like this, and after that he said to me, okay, please, Sebastian, I know how to do it. I was so angry when he told me this, you know, that was completely kind of unrespect. But okay, I said, okay, let's do it. What he do? Let's see what he do. What he does. And when I said action, and so what he done, that was like after my cut it, that was okay, Pavel, everything perfect. Let's move on. You know. Sometimes it's even can be better than you could imagine from the first time. But I try also answer question when you have a problem, you know. It's a lot of techniques. The best way is from the beginning also talk about this character, find intention, why he doing this. For example, if you see like your actor have a problem with getting emotion, yeah. What is also, it's not also, but sometimes it's really hard to get. You see, like, you know, he need to be sad, for example, yeah. Let's take him to the side. It's hard. It's terrible when, for example, and I see this kind of directing, but I try to avoiding. I don't doing this at all. I can tell you now. When director telling to actor, you know, right now you need to be sad. Please be sad, you know. In this case, on the position of the actor, I would say on the director and say, okay, be sad. So I got to be sad. You understand what I'm saying, you know? You need to take this actor to the side, or in my opinion, this kind of conversation is supposed to be even be happen somewhere, you know, not in front of everybody, and try to find point why this character is sad. You can sometimes, it's in my opinion, it's not the best way, but sometimes you can even try back to his real memories, and that's one thing which I do during Jaboya. I take our main actress Beryl, and I ask her, listen, what is one of the most, you know, sad your memories from, for example, past a few years? He told me her grandpa. I started talk about this grandpa with her, and during this scene, she didn't think about this nothing what was in a script, because it's really hard to imagine. She was thinking about her grandpa, and I get this emotion from her. So that's my advising. You need to try find intention why actor doing this, and please don't tell to actor, please you need to cry right now, because it's bad.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. And I will read another question so that I can come back to my questions from Winfred. She says, question to Sebastian, do you have any Kenyan film that you like?
Kenyan film which I like? Question. I saw one film, but Kenyan. I'm not. That's a really good question. I saw two maybe I say African films, you know. because I'm not sure if that was made in Kenya or not, but I love film which was called I'm Not a Witch. I love this film. That was a film which was probably nominated to Oscar in a competition on non-English films, and it's for sure not Kenyan film, but
Zambia, I think
Zambia, exactly. That was Zambia. That's actually one of my favorite films. And I also watched it last time. Maybe it's not my favorite, but that's something what we can also take and talk about. For example, compared to I'm Not a Witch and this film, for example, this was called The Cursed One.
Amazing.
Also about that was also about a bit about the witchcrafting. Or I see a lot of these African films get this topic, witchcraft. I also love this topic. So I'm a director which making also horror films, post horrors, and I definitely will wanna go this way in the future. So yeah, absolutely, that's my topic. I love it.
Okay, and you didn't only watch an African film. You made an African film. You made Just a Girl with Me, and you also made Jaboya, your film in Kenya last year, and we're going to be talking about that shortly. But before that, Sebastian, I'm interested to ask you a question here. So, what's the job of a director? Even before we move to other places, because I know you've worked as a gaffer, you've worked as a DOP, you've worked in many other roles, but what's the role of a director in a film?
So actually, this is, right now also depends from the people, because some of the people can say like, yeah, film, what is the most important, who is the most important in a film? Actually, everybody say DOP, DOP and producer, because you can make film also without director. But generally, in my opinion, director is one of course of the main person who guide and try to put the main vision and try to tell this story properly. And that's why it's really important, because director doing a lot of hard job in pre-production, during production, and in post-production as well. And it's also a big topic in a post-production, what you can make, or for example what you cannot, for if you're working in Hollywood as a director. But in a pre-production, it also depends if you was read the script or write the script or not, or you're just working on somebody's script, But the main thing, especially when you're working with your DOP, is just to put the script in a vision somehow, because this film has to look, as a film. You're trying to doing cinema, so not like just a wedding video which you play, or just commercial video. Is cinema. In this case, it's a lot of effort which you need to put to bring this script to in a real to real cinema. So I trying to tell, because this is really big topic, and I try to answer as easy as possible. So definitely. Okay, so maybe I leave this thing, and I because in pre-production, except other stuff, when the director going and can choose location, but actually it's not working like this, like director choosing location, because if we have bigger production, we have their own. He has their own person which looking for him location, and later director with DOP going for this location, check if it's okay. It's not all, and what is interesting, director is not person which has the main, which can make main decision about it, because if DOP say, okay, this location look maybe is okay, but if in camera looks okay, you need to choose a different location. So from the pre-production moment, actually directing needs to collaborate with his DOP, and it's, you know, that's why it's really important to get really good person with you, you know, are able to find the same good language, you know, in a storytelling, and later bring the script to real, because, you know, you as a director trying to put you know, some movement, these dialogues to real, blocking, it needs to be connected with camera movement. So it's a lot of things which a director needs to do to make this really cinematic, which later during the set and production it's making, and the whole problem which is happening during production, what is absolutely normal, you know, if you are more experienced, later you know, like each set it's gonna be problem. It's impossible to get on a set and don't have a problem, and later and the most important is like to keep you know, called call I call this called all the time, and try to, you know, with focus mind try to find the best solution, because of course you need to deliver a film, you know, no matter what. We had a lot of issue what things what happened during our production, and we need to, you know, decide it really fast what to do to be able get it done, you know. So on a set it's such a lot of things, but during set also it is connected with actors, you know. So we have director which is connecting with DOP. DOP actually is connecting with gaffer, and director also needs to be connected with actor. If director is really experienced and also has knowledge about the lighting, which in my opinion supposed to have, then actually you need to be connected also with these people, but not only, because meantime you have scenography, producer, and a lot of other people, and it's big cooperating to be able bring and deliver good film with, you know, good acting, good camera movement, good storytelling, etc. You know. What later finalizing in editing, which in my opinion good if director, of course it's perfect if director don't edit film by self. That's really important, because, you know, it's a kind of thing when director editing their own movie, it's, you know, it's to connect, it's, you know, it's like every single moment, because he's too much connected with this footage, you know. And that's why advising to also get different editor and sitting next to him, because he, you know, he watching this, he see this material, you know, really roughly, he don't feel this emotion what you get on the set. That's why, in my opinion, yeah, exactly. So it's something what you really want to use, because for you is important. You spend 2 hours to get this 2 seconds, and he said, and watch this and see. But this 2 seconds is boring, you know. He will cut it straight away, and later in the final version, you see, okay, this film has good tempo. It's nice. So, but of course, it's directing, in my opinion, supposed to be on an edit. What in Hollywood, as I told on the beginning, not happened every time, because when you have this kind of big, like for example, Marvel production, actually, door for directors is closed. The director is the main person which cannot go into that room where is edit, you know, because they exactly know, producer know how this film need to be delivered, and they have actually even cannot try risk like this film won't be success, you know, or will be do different way. So this has
wow. So Sebastian, I know we have a lot to cover as we are going on, and one of the things I want to ask you, because these are young filmmakers and they're starting maybe their career, or they've started, maybe they have a few productions to their credit, and in terms of the job of director, for instance, how important is it for the director to be able to direct the actors? That is one part. Also, how important is it for the director to have the knowledge of camera? That is, to be able to direct the camera. And also, is it important for the director, because I'm following up with what you've said, to be also able to manage the schedule? Is it the producer only who manages the schedule during a shoot, or is the director also involved in managing that schedule and making sure that time is being utilized properly? And also the last thing is, also in post-production, is it counterproductive if the director is there, or is it advisable for the director to be there because he's the visual storyteller? So I'm asking you this, then we are going to move to the next question about your other jobs that you've done.
Okay, so if I forgot about enough point, just remind me. I start from the schedule because it's something what I hate, you know, when we making a film, because each directing fight for this, what is the most important. So this is the time, and of course, on a set, it's this first AD, which first assistant director, which needs to take care about the schedule, and you know, this kind of the right now depends from the person, you know. And I saw a lot of directors, and I see now like director needs to know like, okay, this is important, and if it's too much, too big detail to make, he's supposed to know like, okay, let's move on to another shot because we don't have a time. Delivered and finishing film, it's much more important. But for example, I had a previous experience with one of the film which is called Phantom, when I made 17 takes, and after 10 of 11, my first AD come to me and said, sorry, Sebastian, we have to move on to another shot. I told her, it's no way. It's like, that was a really complicated shot, which needed to be completed. And I knew like it's needs to be rehearsed a few times. When I move on right now, then I won't able to use it later. So if you know, like you can cut a bit time from another shot, which is less important, try to calculate this and go for this shot, because you know, it's take for me 5 another to make this good, but that was but later it's you know, cut my time on the edit, because I normally I supposed to, you know, cut this somehow, or because I love one long takes. That's natural, it's gonna take too much time to prepare this well. So definitely, if you have a really complicated shot, I suggest you go for it, but remember also about the timing, and later you will need to calculate what, for example, you need to do faster, you know. So you need to know about it, but with each director that also always will be fighting, you know, because you know, everybody wanna have unlimited time and doing this as best as possible. About the directing of actors, you know, that's the most important part, and that's something what I also putting on the front. And I see from the first place if director has a knowledge with the actors or not. After this, what I see from the sets, I saw a lot of directors on the bigger production and smaller production which working with the actor often didn't. It's nice if you have this time before production to try to rehearse and on a set just shooting, but this is the nice comfortable situation which you get mainly on the bigger production. So I see this straight away, and because I spent a lot of time with the actor and try to explain. Of course, if I have really experienced actors, then this time is, you know, cutting, and I can spend definitely less time. But I try to put as much effort as is possible for it, because later when I watch film, I see it. I could show you the same actor which play in 2 different films, and you won't able believe how he played in the first one in compared to second one. So it's such a big difference how the director work with actor. And about the DOP, also I can tell you how big connecting for me, and how much helped me in my work. With working as a, because I was working as a gaffer on a 2 feature film, and how it helped me, you know, during my working as a DOP and directing. Right now, when I telling the script, I see all shots straight away in my head. You know, I try to think with this, with framing, you know, how this camera could looks like. Let's more try to imagine from the first place how will be connected with the movement, with the all blocking, for example, and the same time connecting with movement and lighting, which if I wanna go with high ISO or small ISO, it's all really important right now. You know, it's before I had, because a lot of that's what is really important. A lot of directors don't have knowledge about lighting, and you don't need to have. Actually, Quentin Tarantino tell you straight away, I don't care about camera and lighting. I just focus on the actor. And that's actually what I can also tell. It's okay. It's cool. It's something what I can write under it. In actor is the most important. But for me, as when I was working as a DOP and gaffer, I can tell you straight away and help strongly to make and deliver something nice. You know, cinema is also lighting, and that's maybe. In cinematography is mainly lighting. I give you and I prepare you exactly same shot with light and without light. It's a humongous difference. So and right now straight away I take in script and visualize this. I can prepare lighting side. I can prepare DOP side. It's also faster working with people. You know, maybe I also was learn a lot about the lighting because in Poland, in here is easier. You know, you have gaffer, and this gaffer prepare lighting for you. You just tell less more what mood you like, and later you telling okay, it's nice or not. In Poland, I had a situation when the gaffer came to me and asked, okay, so what do you want to do? I said, okay, I have this kind of scene, and what we can do with lighting. And he looked at me and said, I don't know. You are director, you know. So how do you wanna put lighting, you know? And in this case, I needed, you know, improvise, just try to think what I can do. You know, I didn't have knowledge at all about it, and that's maybe wasn't the best from his side. Like he said this kind of things to me, but it helped me a lot for the future because right now I know, and I decided, okay, why maybe. Let's see what happens if I will get this knowledge, and I will advise it to everybody. Try to, even as a director, you don't need to be perfect, you know, in it. Just try to understand how light going, how to build this mood you wanna build in a film, you know, and also it helps you know because try imagine you're working with your DOP, yeah? And how much you are, you know. Everything it depends from this DOP. You just bringing and tell him less more how action is going, you know, and he doing what in his opinion is best. A lot of very well known names from Hollywood, knowing exactly how camera movement is going, and do and prepare exactly good vision for that. Even Quentin Tarantino saying like he doesn't care about the camera movement, but he exactly know what shot he want to do right now. So maybe he don't know how to do it technically, but he see what frame he want to get. And this is really important, especially when he based on a lot of old films. So this is really important when you work in DOP. You can, in my opinion, and I will always work like that. I saying straight away, okay, I want a camera here. It's supposed to be like this. In my case, it's also going with the lighting and other stuff. But you know, your visual of the framing, it's really important because you're telling your story. No DOP looking story. And right now, also remember about one thing. Let your DOP make film. Then you will have really nice and beautiful film where story can be, you know, under this nice looking. And if someone tell you, okay, this film looks really nice, it's the worst opinion what somebody could tell about your film, because your film was nice, but your story was nothing, you know.
Yeah. So, okay. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for interrupting you so many times. It's because I want us to cover a huge number of topics. For those of you who are commenting, keep your questions coming. I'll read them at the tail end of this, and Sebastian will respond to them. Now, I want to play for you a trailer for Sebastian for his cinematographic work. He's just said that the work he did with the camera helped him a lot as a director as well. Being able to understand camera moves and camera techniques helped him a lot to become a better director. So now I want to play his cinematographic reel, and then we're going to come back and have a look at more work that he has done. So here we go. Wow, wow, wow. Sebastian, I can just read you the comments, and guys are just really impressed with your work. There's Jan Brian from Uganda. He's saying, wow, you're amazing. He says you're amazing. Let me just add that comment. Yeah, so I mean, this is really nice. Winfred is also saying
Okay.
you're amazing. And also, I've seen Jan Brand is asking which camera did you use? Maybe you'll talk about that as we move to the next phase. So, Sebastian, I know you very well. And one of the things I know about you is that you're a multi-skilled person. You're a director, you're a cinematographer, you're an editor. Sometimes you even do color, sometimes you do graphics, you do everything. So, how did you come to learn all these skills? Like, and how important is it to be able to be multi-skilled in filmmaking apart from just being a director?
It's such important, and you don't have money to making films. That's such important. And actually, I was learning all these things because I saw like expensive is all each thing. Like edit, color grade, DOP, and other stuff. And for right now in this case, we can tell it straight away. Like if you wanna make films, you need a lot of money for it. So I decided, okay, go and do a lot of try to learn, do a lot of things by self till I was able to get proper budget. And then, of course, for me the most important is directing. Right after is DOP, or lighting. So if I will able get a budget, and for example for a few feature project, I'm happy to at least give get proper people which can do all the stuff, and I, for example, just can care a bit about it because I have experience in it, but I can focus mainly on directing. In this case, it's the best, but I was learning it because I knew I had two options. Won't be able to finish film and do this, or just do it by self. So definitely that was main reason how I was able to get this experience.
Yeah, and Sebastian, I want to ask you a bit about your school. How much of the talent that you have did you get from joining a school or joining the university, and why are you in UK? Because you're in UK right now as we are talking, but you're from Poland. So tell us a bit about your school and how you've taken these learning opportunities to be able to improve on your skills.
I think my school give me a lot because some of the directing techniques I get straight away from my teachers. He was show us, and that's the best and the best technique that was from the teacher, which was just acting. How to work with the actors. That was the most interesting for me, or how to work with the camera movement. So in my opinion, that's something it's two things what is the most important, because later it's practicing this what you're doing, that will creating your style, but the most important is connecting, which you can get on a studies, where I still have contact with a lot of really nice people. With one of I actually working right now. She's really nice professional, and I really like work with her in a future for a long time. So connecting definitely, plus some basic stuff, how to work with this actor, some keys or real techniques which you can use during this work, and during the camera movement. So during this all study process, the most important, if you get something what open your mind for this experimental, because to be honest, I just from the school I just get just slightly bit experience. All the things you see in my work is all what I get during my work, and that's of course something. Even if you don't have opportunity go for university, it's not a problem. It's something what as I told you, it's good for beginning. But really, filmmaker give you normal practicing and experience on mainly your or other sets. And to be honest, a lot of nice filmmakers don't have a school. And that's Oscar-winning, Academy Awards-winning directors. So definitely, it's yeah. That's what I can say about my university.
Amazing. So Sebastian, I want to ask you a few questions about some work that you did, and so I want to play something else that you did in Africa and in Kenya. This is the film that you recently did, but before that, I'll play a short teaser of something that we did together in Italy, because I want to talk to you about how you direct first-time actors. And me, I'll just have to say the truth. I have never acted before, ever acted before in a leading role. But I found myself in this space where we had this film, we needed to make it, and we needed a Black actress, and I was the only Black person in that whole place. So there was no option. Yeah, there was no option, so I had to take on the acting role. So I just want to play this, and then we're going to talk about it, because I want to show you a bit more about the work that we've done. So here we go.
Akimoha na shuka akimera maikareve maikarave oire kahiu akimatinia cha enyumba ya mware witu
Enyumba ya mawerito
tohinyagiririo ni athuria yaitu uria maiga tugeka ni twahinyiriirio moiheia togutura guku tohinyagiririo ni athuria yaitu uria maiga tugeka ni twahinyiriirio.
Okay, so Sebastian, you had to direct me, who is a person who doesn't even believe that I can act, That's the first thing. So what are some of the hardships that you have working with first-time actors and actresses, and how do you go about directing them?
Definitely about the first-time actors or amateur actors, what I can suggest, if you have opportunity to hire them mainly for role, for the characters which they really are, That's absolutely the easiest, and because normal during the film it's impossible sometimes to get actors which looks exactly as you wish. Like, I give you a really simple sample from one film. I don't remember right now title of this film, but they needed a few older people without the teeth, really bad looking, where when you have actors normally, and even in agency, that's people which looks really good, and make this especially in a special design, like, or design actually, makeup and all this stuff would be really expensive, and even won't able to give you that good result. Many times it's practicing just get normal people for this role, but of course people know, like, this is not actors, so if you want them to play, they give the role which are good for, which are will be really truly for them. Like, for example, I give you a sample from Jaboya film which I made in Kenya last year. I had one scene where ladies was fighting about the fish. So our main actors, actress in that scene, that was real actress, but all the women around, that was normal random people, which I was able, we was able to convince to be able participate in this scene. And in this, and right now in this case, I needed to do it myself because our crew was really small, but normally first AD, maybe not sometimes second AD or assistant need to try to open really very much this lady, because I needed really open people which just going around and interrupt in this situation, not just standing and watching, what is much more important. So what I did kind of the show, I put a lot of energy, to scream, to shout, and to say like, I need open people, you need to be all the time into this situation, running around, because camera will move, and we want to all the time have people in the foreground, in the background, need to be dynamic. And after some time, this lady started open themselves. Actresses was helped me a bit as well, because they tried to improvise their action. Lady was really interesting. Oh, what happened? That's these two ladies fighting because of the fish. Some of the random people was try to enjoy at the same time. And this magic finally happened, So yeah, definitely, if you're working with amateur actors, you need to try to put their less more in the real their own shoes, as I can call it.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Sebastian. Sorry, I'm cutting you short because I want you to to cover a few more questions before we finish the show. So, Sebastian, now tell us about the new film that you did in Kenya, Jaboya. And before you do that, I want to play the trailer. It's not a trailer, it's just like a teaser, a small part that we got out of the film. It's not released yet, so it's just like a small part and you guys are seeing it. It's not yet shown yet out there, so I'm playing it now. Okay, Sebastian, I know we told guys that we are going to end the show by 5, so it's okay. We can just finalize on this part. Tell us about your film, Jaboya, and then finally also tell us a few words of advice that you would give. I know I will invite you again to do a proper masterclass with the young filmmakers. So I'll invite you once again to do that. But before that, I just want you to tell us more about the film you did in Kenya. That is Jaboya.
Okay, so Jenny, Jaboya, it's a film about a really important topic, which is actually happening on Victoria Lake in Kisumu, And I tell you exactly, it's like Jaboya, in other words, is like sex for fish. And term is using by Luo people, as I told you, based in Kisumu, and refusing to traditional relationship between fishermen and ladies. So actually, Jaboya telling the story about this system. It's actually I find somewhere in online like Jaboya, it's official, this system is called Jaboya. It's all what is happening. Like, if you want to get fish, you need to give your body. If you want to sell this fish later to the market, you need to give this body again. And what became later, it's like such a high level people which dying because of the AIDS. So Jaboya is 40 minutes film, which telling story about the system, about that's actually story Sanaipei and her daughter Zawadi, which became from Maasai tribe, and coming to her aunt, which is called Akini, and try to find themselves in a completely new community. because they lost their family and actually whole life from massage rape. So because are there, they need to also face the all Jaboya system, you know. So for me, it's personally a really important film. From the first time when I found this topic, I decided like this story needs to be told because it's about something such important, you know. And I have still a few more topic which I wanna tell within next year, even this year.
Okay, amazing. And Sebastian, I'm so proud to say that you'll be joining us this year together with Young Filmmakers in Africa, and we'll be making a feature-length film together with them. And we are looking forward to see you in September. And we'll be introducing the other guys who will be coming. We'll be having director Femi from Nigeria, and we have students in Youth Film Platform from across Africa. I can also see there are some of our student minis who are watching. There is Francis Chapman, there is Christian who have tuned into the show. Thank you for tuning in. Also, there is this question that somebody asked: what cameras do you use, Sebastian? Just before I forget.
Till now I was using just Blackmagic, Blackmagic 4K camera. I slowly starting working on ARRI, on Red cameras, which, you know, right now when I have opportunity jump into the bigger production, in my opinion, it's like, you know, better and more professional. But definitely for young filmmakers, I suggest Blackmagic camera. It's really nice. It's half-way professional camera, which can give you a nice cinematic look. But remember, camera is not only the thing which gives you cinematic look. That's proper good directing, which are able to, and good blocking, good working with actors, and collaborating with your DOP and lighting. That's something what give you opportunity to deliver cinema. That's actually not camera I could give. I saw work people which was making a film on phone, and I was under impressed how well made this is a film, you know. So yeah.
So, Sebastian, what advice can you give a young upcoming director? If you were told to give them an advice in 1 minute, what would you tell them? Like
okay, 1 minute advice. Firstly, don't care about the camera. Take whatever you have to be able to tell the story. Focus mainly on the story and on the working with the actors. Actors is the most important person, and that's something what you need to take care of the most. As much as you can. Try to visualize your film, your vision of the framing. How you connect this with working with actors, with camera movement, really basic stuff. Don't focus on technical part, mainly be focused on this to be able to deliver the story, which later when you put on the edit become as a story which is really understandable. Please don't look on a Hollywood films. African culture is such rich, and you can tell really nice, good stories out completely without this Hollywood nice looking, and it's gonna be much better in my opinion. So please avoid Hollywood music, Hollywood style. Just bring something original, because Kenyan culture, generally African culture, is such original, such nice, and in my opinion shouldn't be put into nice Hollywood looks, which in my opinion is just something what you can avoid, and you will have a much better result.
Wow. We just had an amazing discussion, and I know this is a teaser. I know the young filmmakers want to hear more from you, and so we are going to invite you again for another topic in directing. Directing is such a huge topic that we couldn't finish in one show. But before you leave, I always say that this show is about surprises and about learning about cultures. So I want to put you to task to do something real quick for us, which is dance to some of the Kenyan music, some of the top Kenyan music. So I'm going to play it, and I'm going to see if you can dance it, just like so you can say that today you had something Kenyan in what was going on.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I was spent 1 month in Kenya, you know, with people which love dancing, so I can do a lot of stuff. You know?
So thank you so much, everybody who tuned in. We've just had so much fun. That's actually, if you listen to that song, of course, it's a remix of Sauti Sol's latest song, Susanna, which is just like an amazing song. So it's been lit, it's been good. Thank you, Sebastian. You're such an inspiration. Thank you for being a friend, and we can't wait to see you in Kenya very, very soon. And as I go towards, pressing the live button, I want to end it with a dance. I want to make sure you finish this thing dancing. Oh my God, it's not playing. Okay, thank you so much, Sebastian. That was a good dance. That was a nice show. See you next time. Thank you, guys. And if we didn't answer your question, we're going to look at it after the show and try to answer it. So thank you so much, and see you, Sebastian.
And see you next time.
And on Thursday, we have a great guest coming for you again, because we want to make sure that we just make this an exchange platform and you're able to learn so much from this platform. So thank you so much.
Experienced DOP, my DOP, so you will be able to learn a lot.
Wow, that's amazing. So thank you so much. We'll see you shortly.
Thank you.
Bye.